Joe Hopkins here, and today I have my Firefly and I have my Sawtooth. And why? Why on earth would I compare these two? I mean, they're different. This is HSS, this is dual humbucker. They're, different brands, different this, different that. Why compare? Because, man, I spent about the same on them. This was around 200. This was a little over 200 at the time that I bought them. I play the shit out of both of them. I love the Firefly, I love the Sawtooth, and it occurred to me they're both like Strat type guitars. I'm not comparing bridge pickups, or neck pickups, sorry, just the bridge. I'm comparing the bridge pickups because that's mostly what I use. Bridge with the tone all the way up because I'm an asshole like that. Why not? You know those guys. You only need the one pickup. Some guitars only come with one pickup and no tone control, and that's why. But I thought I'd compare them because it occurred to me, I played the hell out of both of these, and I'm not sure which one I like better, and I decided, well, why don't I decide which one I like better, and why don't I invite you guys along? I have tuned both of them. If they start falling out of tune, it's not the fault of the guitar or the tuning stability thereof. They both have pretty damn good tuning stability. This one has locking tuners. This one doesn't, but it still holds its tune just fine when the temperature isn't going wacky in your studio, which it got cold last night. And I forgot to turn the heater on. So as these things warm up in my hands, they were going out of tune as I was tuning them up and playing around with them just before I started shooting this, because the wood warms up a little bit in your hands and it goes a little bit out of tune. I'm just letting you know, don't judge tuning stability. That's the fault of the environment. They're both going to probably go out of tune a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I warmed them up enough. It's hard to say. Alrighty, so we're going to give this a try. I'm trying to reach around my studio and reach things here. I'm in the middle of a recording project, so I got cables running everywhere and microphones all over the place, and trying to, let's see, there we go. Had the cable run under something. We're going to start with the Firefly. Let's see here, and I'm going to turn on, there we go, a nice clean amp. There's a pick. Alrighty, see how it sounds. I like the way it sounds, and I like the way it plays, honestly. I like it. I like the way it plays. I like the way it sounds. I always did. Sounds like it's just starting to go out of tune a bit. So let's go over to the Sawtooth. Oh man, that cable's stuck. There we go. Nice tight cable jack. I like a nice tight jack to put my, yeah, like a nice tight hole to put my jack in. All right. Let's see how this one sounds, the Sawtooth. Right off sounds a bit less twangy, and this is just on the humbucker, the bridge humbucker. Okay, honestly, they feel about the same, to be honest with you. The action, and this is both right out of the box. I haven't changed anything on either of them since I bought them, because I like the way they feel. I haven't had to change anything. A lot of people mess with, setups, and I don't want a super low action anyway. The way I play, sometimes I need a higher action. So if it seems like with either of these, you could lower the action some, right? I like it medium low. So I leave them alone. That's how most of them come set up, and it's perfectly fine for me. Part of that's because I don't have a lot of feeling in my fingers anymore. I've done stupid things over the years and hurt myself many times, and the feeling is less than great. So that extra, height, I got to push more. I feel it better. You know what I mean? It sounds funny, I know, but I got to feel the strings. Yeah, I've tried super thin strings too, and that, I think what, 7s, and that just yeah, I can't, it's hard because I can't feel the strings. Anyway, yeah, they both feel about the same with that kind of thing. I'm going to leave it on the Sawtooth. I'm going to go over to some distortion because we got to see how that sounds, right? And I'll just leave it on this and switch to the other. Let's see how this sounds with some crunch. Yeah, I got a little carried away there. I have to turn on some heat in this room later, man. My fingers are a little chilly. They're warming up now. My fingers are chilly. The guitar necks are chilly. It's going to make it go out of tune. I don't like that, but I like these guitars and I like jamming. Let's see how this one sounds. Yeah, I'd say definitely this one is a bit twangier than the Sawtooth. A bit clearer too. I think the pickups, a little less muddy, but twangier tends to be clearer too if you want twangier tone. Yeah, if that's what you want. kind of dig that. I dig them both. It seems like when I'm playing it, like, the tapping stuff I'm not super good at. It seems like it was easier on the Sawtooth. That was. Playing some of like the bluesy licks, it seems easier on the Firefly. Just, you got to play a guitar. They might feel the same, but then you go to do things and you find it's easier. This is easier on this, that's easier on that. Like, you know, like the tapping stuff. That, yeah, something I'm just, you know, never was super good at that stuff, probably because of the lack of feeling in my fingers. But that seems easier on the Sawtooth. And a lot of the bluesier stuff seems easier on the Firefly. So I guess that's why I have a bunch of guitars. You know, some stuff's better on this, some stuff's better on that. I love the finish on this, all that sparkly. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. The question is, which one do I like better? And I'm really questioning it here, man. I think if I want a touch more clarity, I'd go with the Firefly. I love the way that Sawtooth feels, though, honestly. Once I get to playing it, I think it does feel a bit better. And I guess it depends on what you're doing. If I'm trying to do fancier stuff on the guitar, I think I might go with the Sawtooth. It might make my life a little bit easier. If I'm just doing straight up rock and blues stuff, I think I might go with the Firefly. I kind of like the way this pickup sounds a little bit better for straight up rock and blues stuff, you know? But anyway, let me unplug that thing. There's that tight hole that the jack is in. Alrighty. So the question becomes, which one do I like better? And I don't know. I guess it depends on what I'm doing and what kind of mood I'm in that day. You know, what am I recording? That kind of thing. I really like both of these brands overall. I got to tell you, I own a couple Sawtooths. I own a couple Fireflies. This Firefly particularly has been awesome. They have upped their game. I like these rounded ball end frets. I really think that they make a better guitar now. My first Firefly, I did have problems with. You know how I solved it? It was basically the problems were making it so it was hard to finger stuff. So I raised the action and started using it as a slide guitar, and it's awesome again. So, but the newer ones aren't having those same problems. These are really good guitars for the money. These are really good guitars for the money. I think quality-wise, the Sawtooth is probably a bit better, but the Sawtooth costs a little bit more too, especially considering I paid about the same for these, but I got this one 50% off. Now, they have a lot of 50% off sales, Sawtooth does, but they don't always have all these guitars available. You might not find this one. It might not be available. Firefly don't always have these available, but the price stays about the same, and they have these available a lot of the time. So, I don't know. I guess it depends. What do you want? If the Sawtooth is on sale, I'd say get the Sawtooth. If it's not on sale, I'd say go with the Firefly, especially if you want a really cool kind of finish on it. Firefly does some really neat finishes. Sawtooth, they had black with white pickups. This is what they had. Yeah. Firefly, I had a lot of options, a lot of choices. And I do like the locking tuners on the Firefly. I think that's a nice little bonus on there. They both have great necks, and I think they both sound great, but different, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to sound a lot more similar to each other, and they are similar, but I was expecting them to be like, I can't really tell the difference, but I can. This one is definitely twangier. Has a clearer, twangier tone, and this one's definitely a little bit darker, maybe a touch of mud in it, just a touch. You can work that out with some EQ. That's not a big deal. Take a little bit of that mid-range out, and there you go. So, yeah, I guess my conclusion is I love them both. If I had to pick one, I'd pick the Sawtooth, honestly, just because of how it feels. But I ain't going to get rid of this one, I'll tell you that. All right, so that's my comparison. That's my comparison of these guitars. And yeah, tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Tell me which one do you think you would go with. I mean, you can't touch and play them on a video, but you can hear it. Which one do you like better? I'm playing them through the same amp setting. You saw me just, unplug the one, plug in the other. So it's all exactly the same. And yeah, there we go. And just so you know, I'm not EQing the amps. I'm going to, you know, it is what it is. That's what you're hearing. So yeah, basic amp settings. That's what it is. Just hit switch settings. That's it. Yeah, amp sims. I love them. Anyway, there we go. And in a minute here, an end screen comes up and some playlists come up. Check out my music, my new album, Talking Dogs. It should be. A playlist comes up on YouTube and links to streaming down below. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.